I'm the working group leader for the economics analysis, and we have people from Arizona and Ohio State, Sherry from Ohio State, and Dr. Song from Dr. Charles State, sorry, last name. Yeah, Russ is from Arizona. Yeah, and we have Suzette from WSU, and I and Dr. Gao is from Florida. So I will just have a very brief introduction of the objective. Basically, we have three key objectives. The first one, simply speaking, we try to develop some customizable decision support tool for the growers to make decisions whether they want to adopt grafting or not, solely mainly based on the economic analysis by comparing grafted and non-grafted production system. So the second objective basically is design the business decision model for production of grafted transplants, how more efficiently maybe produce the grafted transplant at a lower cost, and so on. Dr. Song is leading that group. And the last one is trying to identify the larger impact of on-farm grafting technology adoption on producers and the environment. We will use some survey, try to survey some growers about their what's the barrier and the concern of adopting grafting, and what's the benefit they can see from adopting grafting. And here is the main progress. I will discuss the progress of objective 1 and 3, and Dr. Song from Arizona State will discuss the progress of objective 2. So basically, the objective 1, we try to develop some budget, simple enterprise budget based on the experimental data we collected. So WSU, they developed some enterprise budget for non-grafted eggplant production as well as grafted eggplant production. And then later on, we can do the comparison to see which one has a higher economic return. So the next key part is she's also helping to develop the models budget for each crop, because we have tomato, watermelon, eggplant, and for different farms with different characteristics. And so that if we have that, we can more systematically estimate the benefit of grafted production system. Okay, so at Florida, we do almost a similar thing. I try to develop some budget for the tomato production for grafted and non-grafted, and I continue to develop the model budget for each crop. I think she maybe do some experiment with watermelon and the interactive Excel tool to help grow to share grafting adoption. Later on, I will show you, what we mean by interactive decision support tool. Okay, and actually, number 3 and 4, I have done that before with help with Windy. We try to get the experiment data from different partners in this project, so we can draw more robust conclusion regarding the benefit of grafted transplant based on the many data points. Because just to rely on Florida and the WSU, the data point is still too small. We cannot maybe draw a very general conclusion regarding the economic benefit of grafted transplant or grafted production system. Okay, so I will show you what's the final key project outcome we are planning for this objective 1. Basically, we try to develop some tools for growers to make some decision and based on their own characteristics. So that should be data driven and evidence supported. So basically, later on we may develop something. We may have a link on our website, and then if the grower click the website and let me, I don't know how to show this again. Yeah, I'm sharing this or not? Can you see the? Yes. Okay. So basically, if you have the link on the website and the girls go there, they are interested in grafting, and to see, maybe want to know whether adopted grafting may give them better economic return whatsoever. the first thing maybe the grower say, I'm in Florida or California. They can choose their location, and then they can say, I'm interested in tomato, watermelon, and then we can go ahead say, ask them more questions whether this open field production, high tone production, whatsoever, whether it's for organic and conventional, and then we may also, in our data set, we may also say our experiment data is either for a field with high disease pressure or low disease pressure. They can also select those features of their own farm production system. And then we can say, okay, based on the information they provided, we can supply a customized Excel file. I mean, those file is kind of like more similar to the features those farmers supplied. So then we can, let me show you the Excel file. I mean, what we currently, can you see this? Can I see the Excel file?
Send how many kilograms is that?
We're still on your website.
Okay, so I think,
No.
let me see. How can I share this?
Hey, Hendy, can you put your mic on mute?
Excuse me?
Can you put your mic on mute? We're hearing noise, I think, from your...
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the greenhouse. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Can you see it now, Frank?
Yes, but
okay.
we're still on your website.
Oh, still on website?
Yeah.
Let me close all the web.
There we go.
Did you see the Excel file?
Yeah. No, we see your PowerPoint.
Okay. Let me close this.
There we go.
When you share screen, you pick the specific window. So you might want to unshare the screen and share it and choose the Excel window.
Okay. But
yeah,
now I'm sharing, so I just pause sharing or stop sharing?
Yeah, stop sharing and then share again and choose the screen you want to share.
Okay. Okay. Is that now? Okay. So basically, this is a very rough thing we try to develop. Basically, the grower can, the Excel file, like I showed before, it's kind of like customized to what's the farming features. So from there, he can input those, say, what's the labor cost for the farm and what's the expected tomato price. And then if he just don't care about the details, he can just do the comparison. Then we can show, I mean, what's the grafted and non-grafted net cost, and also the in each part, and then we can see the cost, total income, and net return. We can see the comparison. Then they can also do some sensitivity analysis. They can input based on different tomato price and whatsoever, can show us if the tomato price is higher or lower, what's the potential net return of the grafted transplant. And then actually they can change many details. Say they can change the yield of grafted transplants, and they can select the detail page. They can say, okay, based on their production, either they can change the price of the fertilization, herbicide, whatsoever. So that's basically we can give them some rough idea, but they can also go ahead to make some changes to this to the budget based on their own data. Okay, so yeah, I think let me just go ahead to, we have the So the last objective, we need to maybe large-scale grower survey. We have not started that yet. We may start it in the fall, but now have a new key student. And then I will, I think Dr. Sam will talk about the progress in objective 2. Okay, thank you.
Perfect, thank you very much. Let's open it up to the advisory committee first for any feedback, questions. All right, any other cooperating groups that have questions or have additional information to share? Yeah. I know at NC State, you know, we've done a lot of work developing base budgets for the tomatoes. So of course that would feed into Dr. Tsau's spreadsheets. So there's a lot of work that was done, you know, prior to this grant and in other grants that continue. Any other comments or feedback? All right.
Sorry, there's a by the numbers analysis, which this tool is and others are very well prepared to help with. I'd like to put to the advisory group and maybe to others in the discussion if what other factors may come into play from the standpoint of a farmer's calculus on whether to use grafted plants that are difficult to quantify based on the sheer cost and output. I think
Are you changing your cat splitter?
That's okay.
Say again?
I think that was background noise, Matt.
Oh, sorry. I was just asking about other components of an assessment of the economic value of using grafted plants, especially at the farm level, that are separate from, but in addition to the by the numbers analysis that we just heard about. I guess I'm just wondering if those who supply grafted plants, maybe supply grafted seed, or those us who work with growers, they want to comment on that so-called informal analysis.
Yeah, man, I think this part is mainly focused on the economic return of the grafting compared to non-grafted. Definitely, there are different factors affecting the adoption of the grafting. So that's why maybe in Objective 3, when we conduct those surveys, we may try to figure out what are those other factors. So.
All right, excellent. And we'll have time for further discussions and questions at the end, and those might be more integrated. So why don't we move on? And if you have questions, just write them down and we can swing back. Matt, you're up next.
Dr. Gao, please stop sharing your screen.
We have a few more slides to show actually in our group. Do we have time, like 5 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have 5 minutes, Russ. Yes.
Yes,
sorry
you do.
about that.
I didn't realize that we were sharing. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yes, you do.
Thank you. Zhifeng, can you unshare so that I can share my screen?
Yep.
So you can, that's it.
Okay. Okay, so can you share screen?
Are you finding it, Russ?
Not yet. It's on the bottom.
No, it's apparently not showing up, so.
If you could mute it and make your laptop, you are going to get connected.
That's good, yes.
This is on my phone, right? The website is for farmers to input their data, so who will input data?
The whole team.
I thought this website was for farmers to input data.
No. Oh, that was for, yeah, growers who are making decisions.
Yeah.
So the team would input that data.
Okay.
Economic data.
Yeah.
All right, Russ, we can see you video. So the share is at the bottom there. Okay.
Got it.
All right. All right, we can see your slides.
So our first project, we use the computer simulation and optimization algorithms to optimize the grafting labor allocations. And it is actually busy slides, but using the proposed simulation-based optimization, we compare our productivity comparing with the expertise, the labor allocation that is given by the plant scientist, and also labor allocation that is given by the production manager, and labor allocation given by our optimization algorithm. And on the left-hand side, for the inline, the nursery, as you see the top part, the time per plant, actually our algorithm was able to reduce the time compared with the plant scientist and the manager. And then cost actually per plant, we were able to reduce, as you see here, compared with the performance of the plant scientist and the manager. And we were able to do the same thing for the cellular, actually the network as well. Okay, so that was our first project. The next one is for the new nursery, we apply the same simulation-based optimization algorithm, try to optimize the layout design for new nursery. Again, it's a busy slide, but what we were able to do is we look at actually the 4 different scenarios, and we don't share scenario detail, but each of the scenario that we considered, we were able to save percentage-wise. Actually, the left-hand side is percentage, right-hand side is actually cost, and we were able to reduce the saving cost actually significantly for different scenarios. Actually, we look at it. Okay, so the next actually 2 tests, we obtained the virtual glove, and the second project we obtained the RFID. And the goal of this task is to track the grafting the personnel, the movement, macro movement using RFID, as well as the hand motions using this virtual glove. And as you see, we use the machine learning algorithm, which we don't have we are not going to show the detail, but we developed the machine learning algorithm to identify different subtasks of the grafting the hand motions, and we were able to track, identify different tasks, and also the goal here is to identify the gap between the experts, the hand motion from the more beginners, actually the hand motion, and that's actually the work that we have done. But the current work and future work. Another simulation that we do a lot is this virtual reality, and as you can tell that we collect the data from the expert, the hand motions, and we are going to actually generate and create, replay those hand motions in 3D virtual reality environment, and we utilize this headset that is widely available right now. So that's actually the ongoing work, and hopefully next meeting we'll be able to show some cool demos about the disc test. And the last actually, the one that I mentioned, this RFID, and we use the machine learning algorithm, you know, something called the nearest the neighbor algorithm, and then the equation here. So that's okay. Equation here is basically what we want to do here is this one over the distance, the signal actually strength actually changes. And if you look at the right hand side here, we try to estimate location of the either grafting personnel or tray using the multiple RFID, and 1, 2, 3, 4 here is the antennas, and then we develop machine learning algorithms to locate as well as the track the trays as well as the grafting workers. And then our last one that I will spend 1 minute here is that this is the snapshots of the website that we've developed, and we call it Grandes, actually version 1.0. And as you see, it's not public yet, but we are in the final stage to publicize this website. And we do have the simulation, the tutorial demo here. And then, so what we do is we allow commercial nursery, they actually submit their data, okay? So they can describe their, what type of the crop, okay? Whether it is manual grafting, semi-automated, automatic, or what is the demand patterns over, you know, so they can actually change their demand patterns over time, or they can actually, of course, change, you know, manually or using the graph. And then machineries, we have a lot of the default machines, and then they can change the, you know, the electricity price and other, you know, many other type of the description about their nursery. And then what they do is once you input all this input in the website, it automatically generates the dynamic simulation, okay, computer simulation, and then they will run the simulation behind the scene. And then after, you know, simulation is completed, the bottom part here, that they will give you the result based on the demand patterns and production facility that you have described, such as labor cost, variable cost, utility cost, and so on, okay? So I know that we presented a lot of the materials, but these are the collaboration work with the Cherry Kubota, Ohio State, and our team at University of Arizona. Thank you.
Thank you very much.